Hi guys, it's Kate here with another video, and I'm going to tell you about an exhibit that I went to in December, so last month, and it is called Emma in America. And it was an exhibit that is at Goucher College, which is near Baltimore. It is a small, I think, private college, and there is a lady whose name is, her last name was Goucher, and Alberta Goucher, and she had a massive, and when I say massive, I mean massive, Jane Austen collection, just all these different things, and she donated it to Goucher College, and it's kind of been sitting there, but in honor of the 200th anniversary of Emma by Jane Austen, they have put some of the stuff on display. So when Emma was published in America, it was actually published without Jane Austen's knowledge, therefore her not making a dime off of it, which is such a crime. And it was published in 1816 by a Philadelphia man named Matthew Carey. And as Americans often do if they're cutting corners and being cheap, instead of publishing it in 3 volumes with bigger text, he condensed it down to 2 volumes with smaller text. And there are actually a fair number of significant typos in the edition that he published. So in 2016, now 200 years later, they have digitized this specific edition, which is neat because you can look online and see what it was like and even see some of the typos. And it says in 2015, Goucher College Library launched the Emma in America campaign to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the first publication of Emma. As part of the campaign, the library is providing an open access digital edition of the rare 1816 Philadelphia Emma. So as I referenced earlier, I said Alberta Goucher, but it's actually Alberta Burke was the owner who had this big Jane Austen collection, and she donated the 1816 copy to Goucher College. And I got to hold this 1816 copy in my hands. I will put the ecstatic picture of me holding it and then my friend Claire holding it. It was just so neat to hold this in my hands and know that it was something from that era when Jane Austen was around, although it was made without her knowledge. So Alberta Burke, it seems, was the 3rd owner of the book. And it says on the title page, there's a signature reading, C.B. Dallasy, and I'll put the picture on the screen, and on the end papers is a pasted-in bookplate which reads, "The Countess of Dallasy." This evidence reveals that this copy, long before it was owned by Alberta Burke, was in the possession of Christian Brown Ramsay, a Scotswoman and noted plant collector. The Countess and her husband George, the 9th Earl and the Governor of Nova Scotia from 1816 to 1820, arrived in North America in the fall of 1816. While Goucher College believes the Countess was the first owner of this copy, little is known about her purchase and possession of Emma, or when and how the novel passed from her hands. So that's kind of neat. They're just not sure. It's kind of a mystery, but they know for sure the next documented owner was an American bibliophile, Frank J. Hogan, who added his own bookplate, and you'll see that picture of the, the end of the book. And when Hogan decided to sell the copy in 1945, Alberta Burke spotted the auction record and pounced. So, other highlights of Alberta Burke's collection, which include more than 1,000 items, include first English editions of all the Austen novels. And then another really special thing that Alberta Burke did was, along with her husband Henry Burke, she founded the Jane Austen Society of North America in 1979. And she just did a lot for the Jane Austen fan community in America. And I used to be a part where, before I moved, I was a part of that society, and there was one day they read aloud Pride and Prejudice in a day. They had people take different shifts. They started at 10 a.m. and they ended at 10 p.m. It was in a room that was modeled like an old English schoolroom, and so it was a really special experience, and I read a couple chapters, and it was a really low-key event, and everybody there was having fun. There were people knitting while you could listen to Pride and Prejudice. So when we walked in, there was kind of a display on the wall to guide you where to go. And then I will put up there for you the picture I have with the illustration of Emma from the 1816 edition. I had to take a picture, and so I hope you enjoyed that. The rest of the exhibit was a collection of different covers from around the world, and like Chinese, Russian, German, Italian, all sorts of countries, and that was really neat to see, but it was kind of a rehash for me because of the book that I'm about to show you. And this is Jane Austen cover to cover, and this is written by Margaret Sullivan, and this is just a really, really fun book. It's just basically about all of the covers of the Jane Austen books. So seeing that part of the exhibit was neat, but I had seen most of those covers. There were a few I hadn't seen. So I'm sure lots of libraries have this book. So I might do a whole review video on this book alone, but I just wanted to talk about that since that part of the exhibit was neat, but I feel like if you're bummed, since, you know, if you live too far away to go to it, you could get this book and see a lot of the covers that were there. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about this exhibit. I had a blast going to it. It was fun to go with a friend who was just as excited about it as I was. And let me know if you have any questions down below. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.